Hello and good afternoon. It was going to be morning, but it's the weekend. I decided to chill a bit, and then hubby came in and he decided to have a little rest, and we haven't had lunch yet. And then he was like, "Why aren't you making lunch?" And I'm like, "Well, you were resting." And I was gonna get up and listen to a podcast and do things, including film this video, and I was gonna make noise. And he was like, "Well, you could have done that. I wouldn't have minded." And I'm like, "No, you would have complained." But there it is. So I'm just gonna get ready and have a chat. I've had a few things I wanted to talk about, and you know me, I like to ramble. And so this is just an excuse for me to talk to myself and echo. And maybe my mom, if she ever gets around to watching it, but, and the rest of you out there who do watch my videos, hello, thank you for watching. So, yes, lip balm. This is gaffer tape. It just makes me able to grip a little bit better, because sometimes, if you've got moisturizer or anything on your hands, it gets slippy, and I put one on the bottom, one on the top. It's very easily removable. So it comes off like super duper easily. So I just put some around. It's not cute, but it's practical. And this lip balm is just a little concoction of lanolin cream, some other lip balms I wasn't crazy about, a slightly tinted one, and I just threw it all together. And I really only wear it for a little while I'm putting my makeup on. And I don't really need to put on makeup because I'm not going anywhere. But I like to play, so that's what we're doing today. And I'm just using whatever I have. I'm still on this primer. This is my No Pore Blem primer. And this is, I think, I don't know, a 5 or a 7 ml pot. And I had a 30 ml bottle of it, and it kind of got to the point where it just stopped pumping. So I depotted it, because you see how much was left by the time I couldn't get the rest of it out. And I've been working on this for quite a while. I need a spatula. So I've decided to I always depot my stuff by the time it gets to the point where I can't get it out of the original packaging anymore. Sometimes I just depot it because I don't like the original packaging, but I like the product. So, I use it that way. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about the products I'm using, but I can list them below if anybody's interested. But, I don't use lots of new stuff, and this is probably everything you've seen before in previous videos. So yeah. Oh, and I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so today I made notes. I don't normally make notes, but I thought, I'll be a tiny bit organized. So if you've watched me for any long length of time, you know that I don't really do short form videos, and I like to talk. So, my introductions are usually 3 minutes long. So, well, there went the video. I'm working my way through a bunch of perfume foundation samples. So I think today I am going to do, I guess, some kind of Laura Mercier Flawless foundation. We'll see how it goes. That was from Mecca. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't even remember what it is anymore. Because I think one of them I actually mixed with a couple of things, because, oh wow, that is really thick. Okay, we shall see how that works. It's just that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yes. My videos. I don't edit them. They're long. And I don't do short videos. I don't do shorts, and I don't do TikTok. And my main sort of social media platforms is I have a sort of a workbook, Deanna's World Instagram, that I post pretty things to every now and then. Well, I try to be regular, but to be fair, every time I get busy or stressed or, you know, some health thing happens, the first thing I drop is social media. So, and that would be Instagram. But Facebook is my main platform, and I know, yes, Facebook is for old people. Well, I am old people, okay? I'm in my 50s. I am the old people. I have been on Facebook since 2007, 2008, 2009. Very early, when it first started. I still remember who sent me my first friend request, and it was my friend Nick. Anyway, so I started a YouTube channel a long time ago. It's still there. It's my Deanna's World channel. That's my work channel now. But originally it was a makeup channel and a skincare channel, and then I kind of let it go because of lots of reasons. We don't need to go into that. How's this foundation looking? It's not bad. I didn't put a lot on it because I didn't want like a heap of coverage, and I just wanted to like just check it out and use it up and see how I go. Yes, so anyway, I had a YouTube channel. The videos is all still up. If you ever are even slightly curious, if you go down to my Deanna's World channel and go right to the very end or the very beginning, I think it was 2013, 2014. There are a lot of young Deanna makeup videos there. They were very average. But funnily, some of them are still getting a lot of views. So, I don't know. But anyway, so I kind of got to the point where I decided, you know, I want to start making videos again, mostly because I like to record things. I want to talk to myself. And I think it also helps with my elocution and my pronunciation and my speech, which helps with a lot of the audio and the video and the presenting work that I do. And it helps me to be a little bit more fluent when, you know, I speak, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And it's really helped actually in terms of, you know, with me having to dictate and to having to like audio record and narrate and then edit my audio, because there was a time when I couldn't type a lot. Okay, what am I doing? That's done. Powder. And anyway, so I started, you know, doing videos again. And then I also wanted to make a record of, you know, things, memories, stuff like that. And, you know, back in the day, we used to write a journal. I still do sometimes. I like writing. But I'm finding I'm becoming more of a audio sort of a person. And plus I read for work. You know, I read a lot for work. So audio and video is sort of my fun time and relaxation, although I have started producing audiobooks, and so I do audio for work too now. But that's besides the point. And I haven't kind of actually gotten to the point. So generally, I do long form videos, as you can tell, and I don't do shorts. There are no shorts on this video. It's unlikely that there will ever be shorts because I have decided that I am not going to force myself into under a minute. And it kind of reminds me of when Twitter first came out and it was only 150 characters. And it was like, I'm just not clever or witty enough for 152 characters. And I'm just kind of long-winded and rambly and chatty. And I think I've gotten even more so in my old age. So there's that. And then, oh, powder was the Coty Airspun loose powder. I love this powder. It's an oldie but a goodie. A lot of people complain about the scent, but I kind of just ignore it. Benefit Gift Proof Brow Pencil. This was a gift from my friend Steph for my birthday, which I'm very grateful for because it's one of my absolute favorite brow pencils, and it's not cheap, but the color is fantastic, the performance is fantastic, etc., etc. Yep. So I'm long-winded and I like to talk. And anyway, so I started a few years ago. You know, TikTok is all the rage. You know, any of us who are on social media know this. And there's been a lot of, oh, you know, going viral on TikTok and stuff like that. So I learned TikTok, and when I start to learn things, I go deep. And I just don't learn just like what to do and, you know, what I have to do. I learned the how, I learned the why, and all that sort of stuff. So I did a deep dive into TikTok. And I don't want to say I became an expert, but I knew enough that I understood the ins and outs, and I watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of how-tos. I was in a bunch of groups where I read a lot of information, and I even took a small, short paid course on it. Small, short paid, I'm talking about $10, okay? I'm not talking hundreds of dollars. And I learned a lot. And the one thing I learned is that the TikTok algorithm is a bee, and it changes every month. And, you know, if you want to stay on top of it, you have to make a lot of effort, and you have to put out a lot of content. And even now, I'm noticing that the fact that I'm uploading more regularly here on this channel, you know, things are happening, and the algorithm is helping you. The algorithm likes that, you know, you're making content and you've got eyeballs looking and staying on the platform, and so it rewards you for it, you know. And it's a whole effort, reward, endorphins, feel good psychology that goes into it. But that basically meant that with TikTok, you had to put a lot of time and effort into it. And aside from that, you know, which is fine, if that's what one wants to do, I use mascara, believe it or not, as brow gel, because it's the only way I can find something dark enough for my brows. And mascara, believe it or not, actually has fantastic hold. And anyway, so I learned the whole TikTok thing. I did TikTok for 2 years for my job, with clients and, you know, advice and making videos and content and all that sort of stuff. And you know, I was able to very quickly grow my TikTok channel to sort of a certain point, which was like the goal of like every TikToker. But the one thing I learned and I discovered, and I don't know if that's for every industry, but in my industry, TikTok can be very, very toxic. And it can also be wonderful, and there are a lot of very talented people on, you know, on the platform. And I've discovered some very, very talented musicians and comedians and things like that. This eyebrow is always very, very uncooperative. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm not going anywhere. So that's kind of what I discovered. And it continues to be that way. I mean, I've seen people go viral. I've seen people get taken down. I've seen people get canceled, you know. But I've also seen people be able to raise awareness on the app to get attention and all sorts of things. But I kind of decided, after a certain point that it's not for me. And, if it works for other people and if they enjoy it, great. It's just not for me. It's not for me because I, one, am very wordy, and it was a lot of effort to keep things under a minute. Whether it was personally or for the work stuff. And sometimes it's not enough time to convey a message, especially when you have complex thoughts and complex topics. So I kind of decided that it wasn't for me. And also I was finding that, to stay engaged, to have the platform like you and promote you and do all those things, you kind of have to participate, because participation brings engagement, and engagement brings yada yada, followers and all that sort of stuff. And what I discovered was that the average person only spends 2 seconds on a video. So if you can't catch them within the 2 seconds, and for some of the stuff that I do, it's hard, then you've lost them. And there was a lot of scrolling, and I found myself doing a lot of scrolling. And some people, they like it. They like the scrolling and it's enjoyable and things like that. But for me, I found it was affecting my mental health. And I found it was affecting my mental focus and my ability to concentrate and my attention span and my ability to focus on something. Because I wasn't focusing. I was just scrolling every few seconds until I found something that caught my attention, which then only lasted 30 seconds to under a minute. Now there are longer videos. And I found I was gravitating towards some of the longer videos on the app anyway. But so I kind of just decided, this is not for me, because mentally it wasn't working for me. I don't know what I want to use on my eyes. I'm just going to be lazy and just go with bronzer. Oh, you know what? No, I am going to use this palette that my friend Steph gave me. It's a My Room Where Wishes Come True Peri Para 04 palette. It's very pretty. It's very neutral and very grayish. It's quite pretty and pink. But I'm just going to use the sort of like the more neutral colors over here. But anyway, yeah, so I was kind of finding that I felt it wasn't good for my mental health. So I decided, thank you, not for me. I think I'm gonna go back to YouTube and start engaging with longer form content, start watching things that had more depth and provided me more information. And I really got into listening to videos and podcasts. And sometimes I like things that are a little bit longer, but still, sort of in the 5 to 6 minute mark, as opposed to the 30-second mark. And then I just, play stuff in the background while I'm getting ready. Most of the time, because I don't really film that much. I only film like 1 video or 2 videos a week. All the other times when I'm getting ready, and that's twice a day, getting washed up, getting ready, and then at night taking my makeup off and getting washed up and putting my skincare on, that gives me a good, decent, anywhere between 15 minutes to half an hour to listen to something educational and something that will teach me something. And I learn a lot of things just watching and listening to content on YouTube. And there's a lot of very fantastic educational learning content on just about any topic on YouTube, which I love, and there's entertainment too. I enjoy the entertainment value as well on you know, some of those things. So you know, that's kind of where I've landed. And I made a decision kind of in the middle of all of that, that I'm not against short form content, because I know, you know, sometimes time or whatever is not something that you know, someone has or anything like that. So I'm not against short form content. I'm just saying short form content is not for me. That's all it is. And therefore, my videos tend to be long. I tend to ramble. I give myself license to talk, and I give myself license to share, you know, how I feel and things like that. And I don't censor myself a lot. I try not to swear or be rude. I try to be polite. I try not to do things that will get my channel and me into trouble and violate any, you know, guidelines or anything like that. And, you know, don't want to get my knuckles wrapped. So, you know, I try to behave myself. And even like with this video, I've mentioned the clock app a few times by name, and some people are very wary of, you know, not even doing that. And I've used some words that I've wondered, oh, I wonder if that's going to get me into trouble. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And frankly, you know, I don't have enough subscribers, and I don't have enough people following me and watching me for it to be like a giant issue. So I think I can allow myself to be a little bit, you know, unpopular about certain things. And I've discovered, you know, that life is I know very much social media, it becomes a bit of a popularity contest. And I just don't want my life to be about that. Anyway, so that's why I do long, rambly videos, and I've just been sitting here talking for 22 minutes while putting on my makeup. And it's kind of relaxing, you know, and I like putting on my makeup, so that's kind of a fun play thing for me to do too. That's all I'm doing with my eyes. I used this shade and this shade, and you know, I actually really like it. It's kind of grayish brown and a slightly mauvey and pretty, and it kind of goes with this whole green and olive green thing I've got going on. So I do like it. And anyway, yes, so I've lost my train of thought. So that's kind of where I am in terms of like my videos, and why my videos are long and rambly and blah, blah, blah. And I'm repeating myself, and you know what? It doesn't matter. And if you're bored of me, just, you know, just don't watch it. It's just, it is what it is. And YouTube has shorts too. So if I ever decide I want to do shorts, you know, YouTube has it. But I also kind of like, you know, I'm sure you've noticed, I don't edit my videos. The most I do is stop it, go off and do something, come back and continue recording, and then just like clip them together with the transition. But I don't do the fancy editing. I don't do all the stuff. And my videos don't look really professional or choreographed or, you know, curated or anything like that. They're pretty raw, and sometimes it's kind of a hot mess. I had a video comparing two perfumes. That was a really, real hot mess. If you've watched it, it was the Bianco Latte comparison one. Oh, that I did not do that one well. But, you know, I kind of thought, oh, do I want to redo this? And I'm like, no, whatever. It is what it is. And that's kind of my philosophy in life. You know, it is what it is. Do I want eyeliner? Maybe. Yeah, I'll do eyeliner. Yeah, so it is what it is. And this is a Mecca Max Zoom Shadow Stick in Matte Black. It actually lasts pretty well on me as an eyeliner, because I have the most terrible watery like eyes, and I have a really hard time finding eyeliner that works for me. And this more or less sort of works. If I have to get on a call, I usually do eyeliner if it's on video, because it just gives me a bit of definition. But if I'm going out and I'm like going to be gone for a long time, I don't normally wear eyeliner because it tends to smudge. And partway through the day, if I happen to look at myself, I will have like eyeliner all down here smudged, and I look like a raccoon, so it's not cute. And because of the way my eyes are, you can't really see that much that I've got eyeliner on anyway. So it's a tiny, tiny subtle thing. Yeah, so I kind of just, I just kind of roll with it in terms of the videos, and I like it to be raw. I like it to be unedited. It's kind of a me thing. It's a quirk. And you get to see all of me and all of my personality. And sometimes you kind of get to know that I'm not wearing pants. I am wearing pants today. I kind of thought about not wearing pants, but then I went, oh, maybe I might have to get up and do something or whatever. So I'll put on pants. I put on pants, but it's starting to get cooler, so I have pants on anyway, and I need to get out there and cook lunch, and lunch is going to be chicken risotto today. I've been wanting to make a quiche. I was going to make a bacon, tomato, and onion quiche, but hubby decided that he wants quiche, but he doesn't want quiche today. He wants risotto today, so we're making risotto. It's going to be a chicken risotto. I'm going to throw some peas into it just to give it a little bit of color, and then I'm going to top it with my own homemade crumbed bacon, like bits. I have this whole thing. I'm totally against that plastic bacon flavored bits stuff you can get in a jar in a coffee shop. No, not coffee shop, grocery store. I cannot. It's just, I never knew it was a thing until we visited America, and it was like, what is this plastic bacon that you are eating? Like, no. Because we were at like some kind of a salad bar, and it was like, oh, bacon topping. And I'm like, that is not bacon. Anyway, yes, so that's what we're doing for lunch today, which I will have to cook after I'm done with this. Eventually. I should finish this. I'm almost finished, actually. But yes, so I don't edit. And plus on the Deanna's World channel, you'll notice that those videos are edited, and those videos are carefully curated, because that's work stuff. And let's face it, if I'm doing all of that for work, I don't want to put all that effort into the fun stuff, because this is fun. This is not my job. And I love my job, and I love what I do, and I love the work that I do, and the curated stuff. And oh, by the way, shout out, this client of mine, Emma Hartlight, she started doing musical interpretations of her stories, and they're up on my Deanna's World channel, and they are so adorable, and I love them so much. I don't do the music. She just sends me a file. I don't know who she gets to do them for her or whatever it is that she does, but she sends me the file. I put it together in a video, and then I just upload it. And I probably am the one who watches and listens to it the most, because like, I just love them, and they're so adorable. So yes, that's the work stuff. So I like that throwback to early YouTube days when, people just turned on the camera, sat in front of the camera, and did stuff and talked about things. And I know, like today, video quality is a lot better. I mean, you should see the videos I made, like, before. The quality was not great. And I'm just using an old iPhone XS now, an iPhone 10. And I'm sure it's a lot better than it was before, but it's still probably not as good as the iPhone 15 or what's going to come out soon with the iPhone 16, which I really need a new phone because I'm battling with storage for this. But yeah, it is what it is. What am I going to do for blush? I think I am going to go with one of my Bare Minerals bronzers. These are, they're so underrated. I think they were popular at one point, but I really like them because they're slightly glowing. But they're kind of a blush, kind of a bronzer, and they just have great pigment. And by the way, this e.l.f. brush, it's the e.l.f. complexion brush. I think they still sell it. But mine, I have had this brush since the earliest of my YouTube days, which was in 2013 or 2012 or whatever it is. So this brush is very old. And the only thing that has gotten funky about it was it got a little bit wobbly, so I put some tape around it, but the brush is still perfect. It still works wonderfully. It doesn't shed. Sorry, I'm just putting this on. Ooh, it's very, very pigmented. Needs some buffing. So yes, don't worry, I'll tone it down so I don't look so clowny when I'm done. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am in terms of the videos. Why don't you edit your videos, Deanna? This is why. And why don't you do short videos, Deanna? This is also why. You know, does this make me seem old? I mean, I know I'm old, okay? But it just, I think it's a mindset thing, right? And I'm not young people anymore, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to bother with contour or, well, actually, I might do a little bit just for fun. I am working, I've hit pan and I'm very sad, on my NYX taupe. It's a blush, and it was really popular back in the day, and I've hit pan, and I'm so sad because they've discontinued this. And this is the best contour color I have ever used. And I normally just do a little bit under my chin because I have, you know, I don't have a cute chin. I do it more, especially if I'm going to have a meeting and I'm on video, because it just gives me a bit more definition. See, look at that side compared to that side. And this is like, this is the best color. And you know what I just noticed? That beat just started, literally, just as I started doing my contour with this, this time. Sadness. Oh, and that got bigger. Look at that. This is like real-time panning, dude. Dude, oh my gosh. How old and dated does that make me? Like, I say things like, dude, cool. Like, it's not even cool to say cool anymore, right? I don't know. But yes. And now I'm just rambling to get to the end of the makeup, and then I'll stop. You'll notice that a lot of my stuff get very patched up and they're very old. This is like the old original multitask brush from Real Techniques. I'm not an influencer, so I don't do all the new stuff. I have new stuff, you know, but I just, like, I'm not constantly doing and trying new stuff. I use the stuff I have, and I have old stuff. But this, look, it's kind of gunky. But anyway, these old Real Techniques brushes, do I have one here? Yeah, where they had that black soft touch handle there, it gets really disgusting. And like, it gets sticky, and you just cannot, it does not clean. And even no matter how hard you clean it, it stays sticky. So, oh, I managed to clean that a little bit. I'm just using a baby wipe. So I just wrap tape around it because I don't like holding sticky brushes. And the brush is still good, so I'm not going to throw it away. And these days, everything is so expensive. And I'm not making that corporate IT income anymore, so I like to make things stretch. Where am I? Okay, I need to blend. This is my, how did it take me this long to learn trick? where I have like finishing powder. These are the Guerlain Meteorites. I think I've talked about it in one of my videos before, where I just go over my entire face with a finishing powder. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't use concealer, or I don't use much concealer. Sometimes I do on my nose and under, sort of like to just cover up the redness if I need something really full coverage, or if I'm doing something. But all I'm doing today is cooking risotto and chilling. Oh, and I have a drawer that broke and hubby has fixed it. So see, that just calms down the over applied blush and just blends everything in, and it just is a pretty healthy flush. And hubby's fixed it, but I need to put everything back into the drawer because it's all sitting on the floor next to the dresser now, and it's been there for a couple of weeks. Life, man. It's been busy and difficult. But anyway, so that, see how that just blends everything, and I don't have to be super careful in the application for that. And then if my blush blends out too much, I just, whatever's left, I don't put anything new or more on it. It's just a little bit, and it just oomps up the color. Oomphs the color back up. Ugh. Pronunciations. And I'm a big stickler for pronunciations because, you know, I work with audiobooks and I work with narrators, and it's a lot like, dude, you don't pronounce the word that way. I had this one narrator, I don't even know like what was going on in his head, but the hero's name was Dylan, and for whatever reason he pronounced the name as Dylon instead of Dylan. And when I heard it, it was like, no, what in the world is a Dylon? And I had to send it back. It was, fortunately, it was short, okay? It was only like, I don't know, a 15 or a 15-minute short story audiobook, but it was like, we had to redo all the times he said the hero's name to Dylan. But that was one, it was like, oh my goodness. And then we have a an American narrator that we use. His name is William, and he's fantastic. We love him. But he cannot pronounce French names to save his life. And there was this one particular audiobook that we did that had a lot of French names in it. Mostly French words for food. You know, like gratin and dacquoise and, you know, canapes. Oh my goodness. Canapes. He said canapes. So that was fun. Don't recommend it. Anyway, I'm gonna dab off the lip balm, and I'm just gonna throw on, this is my latest. This is when I say I do use new stuff and have new stuff. This is the new Rare Beauty, what do they call it? Tinted lip oil. And it's in the color Serenity. It's one of the darker ones. And I love it because it's very close to my all-time favorite color, which I'm almost out of. So from ColourPop, which they've discontinued. So this, I think, will be the replacement. It does darken up. It's not as red as that one. The other one is redder, but it does deepen and change color after it's been applied. And then it stains. And I love stains. I am extremely obsessed with those Korean lip stains. The glossy lip stains that go on glossy, but then they're moisturizing and then they stain the lips so the lips still look nice. And then you can just throw on a lip balm and you have color and you have moisture. Love them. And I don't know why it's not really taken off in America. I mean, long wear stuff is all like dry and matte, and I just can't do dry and matte anymore. I've tried, but I just decluttered a whole bunch of matte stuff that I even thought, one of them I reviewed and said it was like, you know, something I didn't hate, but my lips just don't like it anymore. And if I did it for more than a day or two, my lips will dry and start to peel and crack. So I told a girlfriend of mine I'm going to declutter them, and she said, oh, sell them on Marketplace. I'm like, no, I've used them. I'm not going to sell them, but I've decided to just use them as like a cream blush, and that works really well too. I should do a video and talk about how I do that. It's kind of a hack that I use for myself, which I really enjoy because it means I don't have to throw those matte lipsticks out. And I tell you what, those suckers on your cheeks last forever. And there we go. I am done. And I have been rambling for 41 minutes. By the time I do the outro and I say goodbye to all of you who have lasted this long, it'll be 42 or 43 minutes. So I'm going to go because we're done. I've done all my rambling and talking that I wanted to ramble and talk about. And I normally don't take this long to get ready. Sometimes I do. If I'm being particularly pedantic or I want, you know, a certain look. But this is kind of pretty normal average for me. Not the time, the look. And so, yes, if you made it this far, that would be echo. Leave a froggy emoji because I'm wearing my froggy headband and I think it's very cute. So, yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for having stayed this long. Leave your froggy emoji, like, comment, subscribe, all those things, because apparently YouTube likes it. And maybe more people will discover me and kind of like the fact that I just ramble a lot. Okay, bye-bye.